Hello everyone, and welcome to the RNG University. On tonight's episode, Grixis Control. So this week we're playing 3 color control decks, and one of the super popular ones that I've seen on everybody's channel and the number of views on my channel is everyone loves Grixis. Apparently this is the most played control style in today's meta, which makes sense because Grixis is pretty strong and it allows us to use black, which is the best control color in the current meta because of one special card that I think everyone knows of, but also couple that in with blue counter spells and red destroy cards. So this is the entire deck list. We obviously are going to have have cut downs in the deck because we're running black, and cut downs very good for anti-early aggro, but we are not going to run 4 off because the deck has more variety in tow. So we have just 2 cut downs and 3 make disappear. The only counterspell in the deck, the fact that we're playing blue, is a constant threat of counterspell to our opponent. Not so much that we have to run counterspells, but that threat is what's making our opponent play differently. But of course, I still want to be able to catch them off guard if they try to invoke us or play a big flashy spell. So we run 3 make disappears just so that we can do that. We also have 3 go for the throw, right? The other removal other than cut down in black that every deck runs that runs black. Go for the throw is fantastic against almost any creature, any deck, except when our opponent is throwing artifacts at us. But that's fine because we then have 2 Abrades. Abrade is something that I always think is underrated. A lot of people think Abrade, hey, I can use it to, deal 3 damage or destroy a Bankbuster, which is true, but it is any artifact. So if our opponent drops some big, flashy artifact cards, if our opponent tried to reanimate, or I guess not reanimate, but bring back a portal to Phyrexia, boom, we can blow it up before it gets too much value. So Abrade is not nothing. It is not just a simple small removal. It has a lot of variety. And of course, we are playing Grixis, or at least black and red, and we have to run Bloodtithe Harvester. So for Bloodtithe Harvester is a necessity because it's a blocker, it's a removal, it's blood tokens for extra card draw, it's all of that. And then we only have 2 Bankbusters because the deck actually has a lot of other card draws in tow. So we don't need too many Bankbusters, and the meta is very aggressive. Too many Bankbusters will, guarantee that we fall behind early game. 4, and then it goes to 3 cast. We have 4, Fable Mirror Breaker. I don't need to talk much about this card. Every red deck runs it. And then we also have 4 Corpse Appraiser, the other Grixis staple, right? So combine with Bloodtithe Harvester. I want to say combo, and I want to say combine, so it come out weird. So combine and combo with Bloodtithe Harvester. Basically, we can remove a creature and then Corpse Appraiser out of the graveyard so that, hey, we get card draw and we get graveyard hate. So this is the alternate graveyard Trespasser. I really wish I could run more Trespasser, but the deck is kind of filled out, and I can't put any more than 3 casts in there. Corpse Appraiser can also get our opponent's Atraxa out of the graveyard if they try to reanimate. So it's something that we can also hope for. Then we have 4 Sheoldred. Of course, the reason why I want to run black is 4 Sheoldred and 4 Invoke Despair. But we also sneak in a little bit of a board wipe in terms of Gix Command. If our opponent is Wise Sun Twilighting us, Gix Command can help. If our opponent is mono red aggroing us, Gix Command can help because we also get lifelink, right? There's a lot of things Gix Command can do, but what it cannot do is take out blue control decks because it's a flashy spell and it can get countered very easily, and we need to be able to go around that. So I only run 1 off, and hopefully it works well enough. And then the new sort of, well, not really that new anymore, but the new inclusion since the Brotherhood's War days, and that is Bladecoil Serpent. The very, very good 6-drop. That could be even more, right? So if you have a lot of mana, you can just pump it into it because it's X6. A lot of people forget. When I was looking at this card, I was searching for a 6-drop, and I couldn't find it, and I was like, hey, Bladecoil is 6-drop, right? It's not. It's 6 plus X. We can make it more if we want. And for every 2 blue you add, you get to draw a card. For every 2 black you add, your opponent has to discard a card. And for every 2 red you add, it gets haste. So and trample. So all of that in one package is fantastically well. Now, I would like to run bunch of Bladecoil Serpents and make this a Bladecoil Serpent deck, but I only have 1 off, and it's a mythic. I'm not going to go craft a bunch of mythics. I wanted to try out the deck and see how it works. I don't want to go and craft a bunch of cards. So that's the deck list. On non-land cards, on the lands, we have 1 Otawara, 1 Swamp, 1 Takenuma, and then a bunch of dual lands. Dark Slick Shores, 3 Dark Slick Shore, 4 Shipwreck Marsh, 4 Stormcarved Coast, 4 Blackcleave Cliff, 4 Haunted Ridge, and 4 Xander Lounge. There are a lot of 4-offs in the dual color and tricolor land, so the land base is very expensive. But it's warranted because, well, you know the deck. It's very important that we get our mana base right, because the mana is very well diverse, and we also have a lot of blacks that we need for Invoke Despair, right? So we have a lot of black, blue, and black-red lands. Now you can see that I have 3 Dark Slick Shores, not 4. I was considering running 4. I actually have 4, but I was considering running 4 and not running a swamp. But I kind of feel like I might get basic land check. If I drop my swamp and I get basic land check, it will be a sad days for sure. But you know what? That is the way it is. Right? A lot of decks that run basic land checks, they're more of a control style deck. And if they are, our deck will probably run them out of card advantage. Probably. We'll see. So that's kind of the whole deck list. Let's try this Grixis Control. I think it's okay. I think it's a fairly strong deck. But, of course, we're going to have to find out. I don't want to say Grixis Control is Tier 1. I would say it's Tier 1.5. Right? Tier 1 is really just Mono Red Burn and Blue-Eyed Soldiers, and maybe Naya Humans. Maybe, if you get the card draws right, but Naya Humans is very expensive because of the lands. Yeo Samuel, that's our opponent, and Grixis Control is just not that up there. But this hand is okay. Let's keep, and let's go for the game. Alright, I'm gonna drop the... drop the Shipwreck Marsh first, because I can play the Blackcleave Cliffs next. And I already said hi. I can play it next, and it will be untapped. Black. Okay, well, then he can't take care of a Bankbuster. At least I think. What are you going to play turn 2? Underdog? Oh, Bankbuster. Well, instead of me activating my Bankbuster, I think it's better to take out your Bankbuster. Oops! Sorry. Ain't I a stinker? Would there be any 2-casts I wanted to play? There might be. Let's draw a card. I could get the Harvester. I did not. I should draw first then, because I could have played this land as a tap land. Well, I might cycle it. No Sheoldred? Mono black, huh? Well, yeah. Let's draw a card again. Yeah, I might cycle the Xander Lounge. Not gonna play anything out. Hold up a counterspell is pretty fun. This looks wrong, right? I'm drawing on my turn rather than holding up Bankbuster to draw on their turn. But I'm just looking at the tempo of what I could get. And it could matter. Well, Gix Command is pretty good, so I'm gonna drop the Xander Lounge as a tap land. He has 5 mana, he has to do something against our control deck that can go the long game. But then his mono black is also control, so they can also go the long game. And it's really about who has what, right? Probably just gonna remove my pilot. Yeah, cut down on the pilot, makes sense. I'm not playing the Corpse Appraiser out until I can... Ooh, do I want to draw a card? Because I don't get a card draw next turn. Yeah, I'll draw a card. I was going to say, I don't get a card draw next turn, so I might miss a land drop, but looks like I don't. Okay, Bladecoil Serpent is pretty good, but I can hold it up for even more value. And our opponent's not really doing anything. I can wait. I have more value than our opponent, and his deck seems to be Bankbuster / removal. Okay, it is a Graveyard Trespasser. Do I have anything in the graveyard that I care about? Not really. The thing is, I don't know how to get rid of the Graveyard Trespasser without him 2-for-1ing us. That's fine. The Abrade doesn't do anything. Guess I'll pitch a Marsh. Okay, so... Resolve. Pitch a Marsh. I don't think black has protection, so it dies. And we'll go to my turn. Now we can eat it. Num 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 num. Fable's pretty good. I would say Fable's pretty good, but now I have something in the graveyard for him to eat. I don't like that. So, wait. Let me crew first. So we can go for an attack. Infernal Grasp. I didn't see that coming. Do I want to save my Bankbuster? Probably not, right? I think it's fine if he wants to kill it. I could auto-war it. That's what I was thinking of, but I honestly don't think that's too good of an idea. Now we can Fable. And I don't want to drop my Dark Slick short, do I? For every 2 blue, I get to draw a card with Bladecoil. So I think that might be good. But then it's fine. I don't know how many cards I'm going to discard to Fable. Honestly, I just really love the Bladecoil Serpent. I can make him discard his whole hand. He's down to not many cards. Vraska. Alright, let's see. He can draw a card and proliferate. Right? Do I want him to draw a card and proliferate? What can he proliferate into? Not much. That's fine. You can have it.
The reign of flesh is over.
Is it?
Patience. We will win.
Alright, so this I can make him sacrifice. Oh no, they're only creatures. Huh. Do I want another Fable? I kind of do like another Fable, so I'm gonna keep. What can he have? Infernal Grasp? Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can go all the way up. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can go all the way up to 8. But that means I do have to play Otawara as a land. As a land. So let's see. Black. Black. Red. Red. Black. Black. Blue. Blue. Discard 2 cards. Infernal Grass, or not Infernal Grass. Invoke Despair and go for the throw. Interesting. Well, let's kill your Vraska. You have no cards in hand. And this ain't gonna be fun.
Phyrexia's influence still grows.
Yeah. Top deck Invoke. Top deck Sheoldred. Alright, he can actually pay for it, so this don't do much. We'll take the 2. I guess I will appraise something first. He doesn't have any creatures in his graveyard. I have 1. I don't know if I want to remove my own Bloodtithe Harvester, but I guess it's good enough. He can't really stop me from doing anything. Bloodtithe Harvester, would I get a kill spell? I will. Or Invoke. Invoke's pretty good, right? Actually, no. If I Invoke, he can make that into a creature. And that's no bueno for me. So let me just... Ooh, okay. I do want Invoke. Because otherwise Invoke goes in the graveyard. And I don't like that at all. It's fine. Whatever. I have 4 invokes in the deck, and go for the throw is go for the throw. Not gonna say no to that. Good game. Yeah, over-controlled. Mono Black is a control deck against every other deck, aside from control decks. Mono Black just kind of gets overwhelmed by control decks, so that's what we did. And that's Grixis for you. Grixis is very strong at controlling other control decks, because it can also tempo out. And the only thing that we're afraid of are blue counterspells. So if we're playing against an opponent that has blue counterspells, we gotta play carefully. Otherwise, we can just let it rip. Of course, if we go second and our opponent has kill spells, or our opponent's aggro, then our kill spells might be a little bit slow. Opponent goes first. I can't mulligan his hand because I have 2 lands and a kill spell. So that's good enough. But I have a feeling that I will lose this game because it's going to be an aggro deck. And it's going to burn us before we get to do anything. Sheoldred's very good, right? But no guarantee we draw land number 3. Generous Visitor. Alright, so it's that dumb enchantment deck. And I don't have Farewell in this deck, so might as well say Sayonara now. All tap lands, all the time. Opponent goes first. So yeah, this is a game. Restoration. There's 4 damage on board. My hand is too slow. What can I draw to get me out of this? Invoke is a maybe. But even with Invoke, right, I have to kill one of his cards. And hope that I get a land out. Or hope I get 2 lands out the next 2 turns. And that he whiffs every turn. That's a very tall ask. I hope he plays like a very good card. Yeah. Because I have to do this against a very good card. The problem with that now is I don't... Okay, I do draw a land. I was going to say, I don't have a guarantee to draw a land next turn. I do. Bloodtithe Harvester. It's a 3/2. Tosca's Welcome. Yeah, you can put it over there. I'll trade. Ossification. Alright, so if he wants to ossify... Ooh, boy. Okay, I need to kill the Architect, but I also die because... The Architect would just keep making 1/1s, right? Yeah. I'm at 2. And I draw a tap land. So, bye. See, this is what happened when an opponent goes first. If I went first, it would have been a different game. But that's fine. We also didn't get any cut down, and all we had were tap lands. So I don't even think that was a shuffler shenanigan. That was just a game that our opponent had the better counter to our cards. Irkon? I can't. This guy's name is not capitalized, so I don't know how to pronounce it. This is a very good hand, but we're going second, which means this is actually a very bad hand. Opponent's aggro will lose again, so that's fine. It's basically how we play every game. Mulliganing is very bad because you're not guaranteed to get a better hand, right? And this hand is almost good enough, but of course, not quite yet. I don't think we can beat a Esper Soldier deck or an Esper. This is Esper Soldier? No, this is what is that called again? The Azorius Soldier deck. Yeah, I don't think we can beat that deck with what we have. Especially with Thalia out. Oh, Sky's right, it is Soldier. Can we kill Soldier somehow? We have a cut down. Guess we'll pay 2 for a cut down. on the Sky Strike so that we don't die. Actually, he can protect it. Alright, well, that's GG then. I'm just gonna leave without wasting everyone's time here. That's the problem. Our opponent goes first. They have 1, 2, 3 drop. We have one tap land into nothing. If we had a cut down opening hand, that would have been a different game. But this is what I mean by I don't think it's tier 1. It's more tier 1.5 because it is more reactive. And reactive decks really hard to get to tier 1 unless, you know, we're playing actual paper Magic and we're playing best of 3s. Then the game is more fair. So we went second 3 games in a row. We have pretty much weak hands 3 games in a row. We always get non-removal hands, but it's not something that we can mulligan. We can justify mulligan, I should say. I can't justify mulliganing this hand because we have very good cards. Again, soldiers. Alright, well, we got tap land, or untap land into untap land, so at least we have those. I don't know how relevant it is because our opponent is just got... Yeah, Thalia. Nice. Not drawing cut down means we'll lose. Didn't draw cut down, so we'll lose. Resolute Reinforcement. Well, at least it's not too crazy of a hand. Alright, I guess we'll 3-mana Abrade the Thalia. Can we do it on their turn? Let's do it on their turn. I mean, if he has a protection spell, it's not like we could have done anything. We're already down to 10. What can we do with... Oh, Sky Strike. Okay. We can go for the throw. The Sky Strike. Guess we'll do that. Do it before he gets to draw. And we'll get a Bloodtithe Harvester out. This will be our little blocker. We'll block, I don't know, the Resolute Reinforcements. We'll probably pump, right? We'll probably pump the board. 4 mana. It's not good. Root of Cathar. Well, there goes our blocker. Down to 6. We do get a lot of lands, but, you know, what are we going to do with these lands, right? He'll probably sack the 1. We draw 2 cards. Then we'll take 5 next turn. We'll go to 1. Actually, we just die next turn. So, yeah. That's game. Opponent always goes first. I think... Oh, okay, so you know how soldiers and mono red burn are top tier in the meta? I have a feeling that this is what Arena wants. So they always incentivize them to keep playing the same deck by making them go first. I have the same experience when I was playing those decks. And yeah, this is why even Grixis sometimes run 4 cutdowns. It is horrendous to run 4 cutdowns because your deck can't do anything else if you have 4 cutdowns. Now this isn't a good hand. But these are tap lands, so... You know, we have 4 of each of the other lands, but we always draw the tap lands opening hand. Suspicious. So our opponent is not aggro. On the fact that we've got to go first. See? If you get to go first, your opponent is not aggro. That's kind of how the game goes. Jetmere Garden and a plane. What's going on here? Is there a play? Is this going to be soldiers with red? I don't know. One has priority. Her migration. Okay, so it's the 5-color domain deck. No. And I guess we'll just drop Sheoldred into Sheoldred. We have nothing else, so Sheoldred will have to do the trick. Where did he gain 3 life from? Is it this? Oh yeah. On her migration. Contagious Vorak? Vorak? I'm so confused. Why did he get a plane? He already has a plane. Well, I guess he does get to choose that much. Alright, another counter spell. That's you take 4. We're gonna do not block. Yeah, we all know what's coming. Stormcarved Coast, and turn. I don't even have that many creatures in the deck to attack Enuma. Normally I want to talk Enuma for a Sheoldred, but there's no Sheoldred left. Oh, top 4 cards are all going to be Sheoldred. That are all lands. My talk Enuma is just going to be a whiff. Drag to the bottom? Nah, let's not. Wow. Okay. Good thing I have another one. I don't want to play the Bloodtithe Harvester this turn. Not because I'm afraid of a drag to the bottom, but more so that I want to be able to cycle this or channel it. Look at this. Just removal hand, back to back. What else can he have? Okay, so I could pitch this to the blood, but then I'll get a 2-drop. What kind of 2-drop can I play? Let's find out. There might be something. Could be a land too. Oh, it's an Abrade. Okay, that's nothing. He only has 2 cards left, but I only have 2 cards left because that one is a land. And we all know if I cycle this, Atraxa. Well, I don't have any more counterspell, so I'm just gonna leave. Yeah, even though we are a better control deck, the problem with that is we did not get good draws. We didn't get a card draw early game. All we got was Sheoldred. Sheoldred's very good against aggro. It's not very good against control when our opponent has removal for days. I guess I did. I would say, looking back, there might have been a little bit of misplay where I tried to counter a removal on my Sheoldred, because I should have just let them done it so that I can talk Enuma it back. Right? I did not draw an Invoke. I would say that's the biggest problem. We're gonna go first, so I'm gonna drop the tap land into untap and untap. Alright, what kind of deck are they? Esper, huh? Will Esper play anything turn 2? I don't think so. Let's drop a Bloodtithe Harvester. Get a tempo on. Yeah, see? Nothing turn 2. Have to be aggressive. Okay, I would drop the Darkslick Shores because this is a tap land. This is also a tap land, but this is the only turn when it's not tapped. Probably play Wedding Announcement right here, if he has a control Esper. He could just be a nothing. Jace. What is he gonna do? -3? If he -3 my Bloodtithe Harvester, I can't really kill it, right? It's kind of annoying, so let's just stop it. And I'll pitch the Xander Lounge. I don't want that. Sheoldred. Alright, that's a good draw. So you have to answer Sheoldred next turn. And if he answers Sheoldred, I'll invoke him. So yeah. He's at 10. He has 4 mana to answer Sheoldred with. What can he answer Sheoldred with? Nothing. So he's holding up Emperor. I don't know if that's right. Because I can invoke him. He has a counter in response. Jace. Okay, that's terrible for him. Great for me. I think he just dies. -3 on the Bloodtithe Harvester, probably. Yeah. Shipwreck Marsh. Invoke. On to sack his Jace. Attack for 4. He's not dead, per se. No, he is. He didn't have anything to play, so now he's dead. GG. I was gonna say, he could remove it in response, or before he draws, but he couldn't. And that was the game. So, looking at Grixis, it's a very strong deck, right? If we get to go first, I would say that 9 out of 10 times we will win. Also, it is really about the way you play the card draws that you're given. And that's all I can say about Grixis Control, really. It is a very strong deck. Okay, let me put it this way. This deck has pretty much answers for almost anything, right? Invoke Despair destroys, or it sacrifices, a lot of your opponent's board. Enchantment, Planeswalker, creatures, all of those. And then Abrade does take care of artifacts. Counterspell takes care of any sort of big flashy spells. Corpse Appraiser is Graveyard Hates. And then we get Ramp in terms of Fable, and we also get card draw in terms of Bankbuster. We get recycling, or I guess looting with Bloodtithe Harvester. We also get a big hand disruption with Bladecoil Serpent. This deck has everything. This deck has the potential of taking out any opponent. But obviously, just like any other deck in Arena, your biggest enemy is Arena itself, because they will screw you over. Arena will find every which way to pump up their baby decks. And they will hurt every other deck so that they can pump up the Mono Red Burn and the Blue Eye Soldier decks, because those decks are easy to pilot. They get more beginner players that way, and they will get more money that way. Unfortunately, that's not how we play Magic, so we have to kind of push through that, right? Figure out a way to counteract those. So what that would mean, maybe it is running one less Invoke Despair and one more Cut Down. Maybe it would mean running less Bankbuster and more Cut Down. More Abrades maybe. More counter spells. Generally speaking, I'm not too sad if I lose to a control deck that played well. I'm just kind of irked when I'm playing against just an autopilot deck that could be played by a bot, and no one really cares that they won because they're just trying to rank up, and the game isn't really fun, right? The fun part is thinking about your plays so that you can overwhelm your opponent with your intellect, and that's how I want to play Magic. So if you really want to do that as well, Grixis Control is for you. It's a very strong deck, it's a very thought-intensive deck, and there's a lot of styles in playing it. So that's what I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time.